Hi, we're the Traveling Trents. I'm Christy.
I'm Dave.
And we are getting ready to leave for a trip to Maumee Bay up on Lake Erie. It's the campground, the State Park campground. We're going to be gone for a couple days, meeting some family up there. We're really excited to go, right?
Yes, I've heard a lot of top 5 state park campgrounds in Ohio from a lot of different people. And all of them, Maumee is in all their top 5, so that's a common denominator there. So I'm expecting a lot out of this place. Never been there. I didn't know anything about it until about a year ago, but we will let you know with our so-called best of knowledge, okay?
So we're taking our kayaks, we're taking our bikes, there's supposed to be lots of bike trails.
Taking the golf cart.
Yeah, and the golf cart, and there's supposed to be...
I'm even taking her this time.
So we'll let you know how it is and how much we like it. So we'll let you know.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's all kinds of regular bikes. Here we are at the one dump station that there is. There are 2 water fill-ups, city water fill-ups. They suggested that we do that before we come in because we have water right next to our camper. But they said something about you have to hold the handle up and it takes a long time. So we're filling up here. And just to precaution people, there is an issue, and it's raining, of course, in Ohio.
In Ohio.
They are checking for Golden Buckeye cards, veterans cards, disabled veterans. The person that's with us is a disabled vet, and so there was he had to have proof of that, and he did not have it on him, so he had to actually call the veterans office and have them fax it to him. So that went through okay, but just be aware you will need those things if you come to a state park in Ohio. They are cracking down on that. That just happened this month. Or no, March. So anyways, we are filling up right now. You see the lovely skies, because that's typical of every time we travel. And we'll get over to our campground, our campsite in a little bit here.
Stephen, I bet again, wonder where they're at.
Oh.
Hey, tell me gotta get that off here. Maybe the governor.
Here is the public beach for the lake. Huge beach. Looks to be well maintained. What do you think?
For a lake beach, I don't like lake beaches. I don't like beaches.
Can you hang on now? And then this over here, this looks like these are the houses, bath houses. They probably have concession stands. Probably. Let's go see. And then this is the inland lake beach. This is so pretty. Look at it down here. This is that inland lake beach. should ask somebody. There's the big hill.
They probably leveled a lot of this.
I'm saying that's what happened.
And they said they drained it. There was like some kind of drainage thing. This is the big hill. We're going to walk up the big hill.
How about it?
Me and Cindy.
Something to sit on here. What you got? Hey, put the question
ground?
so we can get up a
Yeah. Alright, here we are, heading up the big hill. It's probably a big waste dump or something. I don't know what it is. Top of the big hill. Oh, there's a bench up here. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Now that part... Well, I think it's worth the climb. Definitely. We're close to the lake. Yeah. There's been, yeah. Got some kites flying in today. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? Survive. Oh, I hear a frog, Dave.
I took a picture of everything that's supposed to be in here, but
Oh, okay.
it's unreal.
Oh. What do you think about the
Mom probably told me to
boardwalk and all that?
The boardwalk looks cool, but it's kind of long for my tasting.
Kind of neat, though, isn't it? Man, this is just, look at this swamp. What would Max be doing right now? Oh, he'd be real nervous about walking on this.
I think he just run ahead of us.
You think that?
they love a bunch of cattails.
Yeah, I love the cattails.
That's those things, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I got my binoculars if you want to look at anything. So this is what it all used to be like here.
Look at all these deer prints right in here.
Oh, wow, yeah.
There's all deer
Look
prints.
at that.
They're right into that.
He's getting nervous. Ah, go, there he goes. Chicken.
Probably get a picture of him flying away, huh?
Ah. We're the Traveling Tramps. This is our wrap-up of our trip to Maumee Bay State Park Campground. And this is mid-July, Weather has been meh.
Day we got here, we set up in the rain. A good way. It's not as hot as it is up here. It's 5 to 10 degrees cooler up here than it is down in Dayton.
And we just came home from Gatlinburg, where it was
99.9 degrees.
Camping there, and that was it was a wonderful trip, but it was miserable hot. But we're going to leave this afternoon. I went ahead and bought an extra day stay because the dump station, there's only one dump station, and that tends to get full. So we bought an extra day so that we can leave this afternoon. And that's what our plans are, leaving this afternoon. We came here camping with family, and we've had a really great time. We heard great things about this campground, and so we were excited to come up here. It's our first time, and everything they said was true.
Just about, yeah.
This campground has now overtaken my #1 spot.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I love it here. There's so much to do. We have there are bike trails. That's really nice bike trails you can go on. They also have plenty of bikes you can rent if you don't have a bike. So one of the trails takes you down by the Lake Erie, and you can just ride right along Lake Erie, and then you can ride over to the lodge. There's a nature center over there, a fabulous boardwalk. We walked along that through a marshy area. It kind of shows,
that was cool.
And that kind of shows what Lake Erie used to be. This whole area used to be swamp until they drained it back in the 1860s or something like that. So it really wasn't that long ago. And they drained it. They made a beautiful area up here. But that swampy area shows what it looks like. And then we saw birds, different birds. We saw some snakes, which David hates. We saw a muskrat. I've never seen a muskrat before. Oh. And there's a golf course there if you're a golfer. Really nice golf course.
The league style.
And people, there was a lot of people out there golfing. One of the things we heard was that there would be tons of wildlife. We have seen quite a bit of wildlife. Something I've never seen before was young deer. And we saw deer as small as, this. We saw deer that were more mature. Just this morning, walking Max, we saw 3 baby deer. They don't seem to be too scared of people because I guess they're around people all the time. And we got some good pictures of that. One thing the state park has is wonderful weekend activities. So this weekend we were here got here on Wednesday, and we're leaving this morning, or today, on Sunday, but over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They had bingo. We played bingo one night. My sister won twice. I won nothing. And they have donuts in the mornings on Saturdays and Sundays. You can go down to the shelter house, and we're real close to the shelter house, which is nice. And you can get donuts, coffee, tea. And then they also have, what was the other thing? Ice cream. They have an ice cream social. We can go buy little cups of ice cream. And Max got some ice cream because he's partial to vanilla, aren't you, buddy? And so we did that. There's a group up here called Friends of Maumee, and they're the ones who are campground hosts. And they built that shelter house with the donations they made from the ice cream and the donuts and that and the bingo. And then they take up donations. So they've built a couple things around here within the place. There's only about 20 hookups, full hookups. So we are without full hookup, but our camper holds a lot of liquid. and
we have big tanks in this camper, which I love, and it's really paid off. And plus, we have a water spigot right out here.
Yeah. 50-foot
water hose. I could add water.
When we made our reservations, we made sure that we were really close to water.
I try to do that if I ain't got full hookup, because I hate carrying those 5-gallon buckets and pouring them into the.
How many feet of hose do you have?
I got that G2 hose. You've seen them. They don't stretch. They're easily folded. I have about 275-foot hose I carry. I can just about get anywhere, but there's sometimes you can't. It's 300 foot away.
So we will try to get close to a water spigot and be able to fill up.
Yeah.
And so yes, we kayaked. We had planned on going over to Howard's Marsh to kayak, but we ended up not going. But they have a 57-acre lake here, and it's a very good kayaking lake. Now, if you're a kayak enthusiast, you're going to be bored to death. But
it's a round lake.
It's a round lake. There's a couple little areas where they got catskills and some little stuff. So we saw snakes in the water. We saw a lot of geese, of course. We saw a really beautiful white egret there. So it's a great lake for leisurely kayaking and learning how to kayak. And they do rent out kayaks there. There was actually during the weekend they have a thing where they'll even give you lessons. They have so many hours every day, so you could go at a certain hour, and they'll give you kayaking lessons. There's the big hill, and that's a big hill. And when you've been to the Smokies, you've been to the Rockies, this is a molehill. But we climbed up the big hill. Well, my sister and I climbed up the big hill. While the boys stayed down. But it's a little bit of a steep climb, but it's a beautiful view, and I recommend doing that. And what else do you want to add?
My turn. This campground, there's 256 sites, and it's raining. You drive down the main road, and branches go off of the main road, and there's probably 15, 20, 30 campsites back in each loop. Loops. You go back in the loops around, comes back out. There's like 8 of those. I could blindfold you and take you in any loop and unblindfold you, and you wouldn't know what loop you're in. Every loop is almost identical. Almost identical. And if you like seclusion, if you don't like neighbors, if you don't like people looking at you and you looking at them, this is the place to come, because it's full right now. It's Sunday morning. This campground's full. I can go outside and I can literally see 2 campers, because every campsite there's a brush. They got a real thick brush pile and trees that grows up beside just a little patch of it. It separates every camper down through here. Every site has that, and it's kind of cool. I kind of like to go outside and watch people stir of a morning, and I like to watch people, pull their campers, like I said before. This may not be the ground for you if you're like that, because there's no activity. You can't see it because you're so secluded. It's like Indian Lake. I can sit out front in my camper and I can see 30 campers, and I can see all the activities going on and stuff. I kind of like that. That's one I take away from this campground, only because of that. This is still my number 1 is still East Harbor, which is right over here. And number 2 used to be East Fork. Well, East Fork lost its number 2 place. This is my number 2 place now. East Fork dropped down to number 3. But I'm taking away just because that's the way I am. That may not be the way you are. If you like seclusion, this is your number 1. But I like to see activities. It's like last night I heard some. It's like some people chopping wood, and this girl was saying, I can hear her. She's saying, "Give me that axe. I know how to chop wood. Give me that axe. I can chop wood." I'm thinking, maybe I need to watch this. But I can't see that.
Call 911 if you need
but I can't see that because of the shrubbery. You're secluded. And wildlife, my gosh, we saw, every morning we walk max, we see at least 15 rabbits. He likes to chase rabbits. We saw 3 deer this morning. We saw younglings, spotted younglings this morning. We saw a deer about that big, drinking water. I'll let her tell this story because I know she's doing this to me to talk. But when I was growing up, we did that in the country, and we loved wildlife. We had screech owls. Now, if you've ever heard of a screech owl, if you haven't, go on your phone and type in screech owl, make the sound. But I love to hear screech owls. And I had read up here that if you walk that trail there's screech owls that live in that trail. So I'll leave it at that. I'll let her tell this story. It's the most weirdest thing ever happened to me in my life.
It's the best camping story ever. But
campsite last night, 10 o'clock, campfire. This is what happened.
Sitting around, and we had just been telling scary ghost stories.
Yeah.
And we heard a screech owl in the distance.
Way off in the distance. I think I hear a screech owl. Because I heard those growing up.
So I have an app on my phone called BirdNet, and you can record the sound of a bird, and then it'll analyze it and come back and tell you what it is. Well, I recorded the sound. It came back and said it was a sandhill crane. And we're like, oh, I don't know about that. It still sounds like a screech owl. So I looked up a sandhill crane, and we played its sound. Well, yeah, it kind of sounded like that.
Sort of, but there was a difference.
And then I looked it up on my phone, what a screech owl sounded like. And there were these 3 different recordings. And so I started playing one, and it's got this high trilling sound.
Just like a screech owl.
All of a sudden, we heard the screech owl getting closer. We heard him closer, and I kept playing the sound, and he came closer, and
This is no lie.
He flew into the tree right above our heads and was just trilling. And so we have no idea what our sound was saying. We don't know if it was saying, come here, come and get it, big boy, or this is my
if it was a love visit or a hostile visit.
Or a hostile visit. So then we kept playing it, and the screech owl flew out of the tree and right over top my brother-in-law's head.
About this far top of his head.
And he ducked down and started yelling, turn that thing off. So we turned it off, but that screech owl sat in that tree for quite a while, waiting to hear if he heard the screech owl call again, and then he flew off.
Well, tell the second half.
So then my sister's like, we're going to bed. She packed everything up, went to bed. And we said, we're going to go see if we can call it back.
So we came over to our camper.
And we heard him way off in the distance again. And so I played that screech owl thing again, and here it came back. He just sat on the top of our camper and screeched for a while, and then it flew over into a tree. And David had his flashlight trying to find it, and then we got to thinking, well, we should probably leave this poor screech owl alone. It's probably not very nice to be tormenting this poor thing if he's wanting some love.
Don't mess with Mother Nature. I want to claw somebody.
So that has gone up to our #1 absolute best campfire event that has ever happened, and we've been camping a long time.
Now, those of you who don't know, screech owl, they're only about that tall, and they got like a 2-foot wingspan. But they're the coolest little birds to hear.
Yeah.
So if you never heard one, I'm not going to make a sound because you'll think I'm stupid. That's the way they sound. But anyway, yeah, it's not a hoo hoo hoo. It's a screech owl. Oh boy.
So we have to leave today, but we're not going to leave till early this afternoon.
About 2 o'clock. Let that dump station clear out.
Let the dump station clear out. There's 250 campers here because it's full.
And they're all going to leave this morning.
I recommend that you get your camp reservations 6 months in advance, and that's usually what we do. Get them 6 months in advance. I know some people like to just go and get whatever they want, but we like to pick our sites out. And
we took the golf cart around every campsite it was. They're not exactly level. We're just a little bit.
We're at 226.
Yeah, maybe a little 1 or 2 degree pitch. It's not bad at all. There ain't a bad campsite in this whole synagogue here.
It's pretty fabulous. There's lots of stuff to do. I just highly recommend it. We've had a fabulous time. It's a great time.
If you like to observe people and watch people, this may not be for you.
Yeah. So a fabulous trip. Highly recommend Maumee Bay.
Screech owl. Look it up.
So this is the Traveling Trent saying so long until next time.
Bathhouses. There's one bathhouse per loop. If you're staying in a tent, it could be a far walk.
But if you can stay in a tent, you're probably capable enough of walking far.
But that's true. That's
You're
true.
not old like us.
That's true.
You
Yeah,
need a golf cart to get around.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add?
No, just great trip. Number 2 on my list,
Number
East
1
Harbor,
on my list.
East Harbor, which is right over here, and now this one, Maumee.